Hello and welcome back to another out-of-spec detailing video here from Clear Detailing in Northern Colorado. Today we're talking about a detailing tool that I genuinely can't live without, and that is my VacuMaid Garage Vac Pro. In today's video, we're going to be talking about why I chose this vacuum, why I prefer a wall-mounted vacuum system, not just for aesthetic reasons, but working and efficiency timelines. We're also going to go through and do a torture test with this because my Kia EV6 is my daily dog hauler. If you did or didn't know, I have two very cute golden retrievers that love to shed and make an absolute mess of my cars. But this thing is truly impressive with how light work it can do on some serious dog hair. So welcome back and let's jump into it. As of always, we're going to have links in the description below to not only the VacuMaid Garage Vac Pro here, the hose reel, talk about some of the fittings I use, different nozzles, things like that, so you guys can get one of these for yourself. Now this is a system that I will be honest is slightly on the more expensive side, but if you're particular like myself, maybe you run a detail shop, maybe you're looking for a vacuum for your home garage that isn't one of those that's rigid vac that you just roll around the entire shop, smacking into cars and whatever, all of that nonsense. This is going to be your best friend. Genuinely the best money I've ever spent. So starting up here, the VacuMaid Garage Vac Pro. Now this is the 50, meaning that it comes with a 50-foot hose on it. Runs right about 439 bucks. Now that is quite a bit of money, especially when you compare it to some rigid vacs, some shop vacs. I totally understand that, but there's a reason this thing is so expensive, and that's really because of the performance, the way it works, how quiet it is, yada, yada, yada. And aesthetically, it just looks amazing hanging up on a wall. Now down here, we also have the Rockler Dust Right hose reel. Now there are some different hose reels out there, one of them being Cox reel. These are actually really, really nice. Love these. They're quite a bit more inexpensive. I think these are right around 209 bucks. So you're in about $600 for a full vacuum setup here. But this is not something that's going to crap out in a year. You know, you break it out every month, maybe every other month, depending on how dirty your car is, and then you get a year down the road and it stops working. These things are absolute workhorses. So number one reason I went with this was, well, my last garage utility vacuum from Hoover actually ended up dying. So I did my research and said, okay, what is the best vacuum out there? Everything kept pointing to this, and boy, I wish I had bought this thing earlier on. There's a lot of really cool things about this. Number one, I think it just looks amazing having it mounted on a wall like this. Number two, it is unbelievably quiet. Crazy, crazy quiet. I wear AirPods pretty much anytime I'm working here at the shop. I can never hear this thing on. Meanwhile, I can stand right next to this thing and hear myself talk. It is actually surprisingly quiet. The next thing, of course, is the suction power. Like I said, we're going to be doing a torture test today with my Kia EV6 and all of the dog hair. I've actually had a video featuring this in kind of the interior detailing series, and you guys could not believe how unbelievable it was at picking up dog hair. That's why I wanted to make a dedicated video on this. I've also had this in my shop tour, of which you guys asked for more kind of intricacies about how I have this thing set up. So I want to go through all of that and let you guys know that. Now there is one major con other, I would say, than the price to this particular vacuum. It is not necessarily meant to be a wet vacuum. Now VacuMaid does make some different kind of attachments that you can use it as a wet vac, but really this is meant to be a dry vacuum. If you need to have a wet vac, my real kind of thing I would do is get a cheapo wet vacuum. You can keep that one, make it all nasty, make it disgusting, and use this as your dry vac. That's really what this thing is meant to do. Now the other great thing with this vacuum versus some other ones out there is this actually uses HEPA filters up there. I'm telling you, I did vacuum up some really disgusting things in cars. Dog hair, ketchup packets, I don't even want to say what else in cars, and it can get really nasty, especially sitting up here in a hot reservoir when you're pulling air through the motor. All of this gets warm. You don't want your entire shop to absolutely stink, so having the HEPA filter up there really helps. I will also be linking in the description below the HEPA filters that I purchased through Amazon. They're quite a bit cheaper from VacuMaid, so I would say that is a pro, yet it's a con. My last garage utility vac from Hoover that I had just had an entire canister here. But one of the big negatives, it was pretty messy. You'd pull the top off, there's dust going everywhere. Then you had to take the container out, go dump it. Dust is blowing in your face or all over the shop, all over the cars. It's really nice having these bags because you just pop it out, throw it in the trash, pop a new one on. But it does add up over time in terms of cost. Now over here, like I said, we have the Rockler hose reel, which I absolutely love. Is this an absolute necessity? No, but I think it looks a lot nicer and it's a lot easier because I just grab this and boom, I go. When I want to roll this back up, I just do this as it flies over the top and it's back in place. No going around and around and around the vacuum. There's different ways you can do it, but for around 200 bucks, I think this is great. Now, I'll bring you guys in a little bit closer and show you some of the attachments because that is one thing that people struggle with this is how you actually mount this whole system. A lot of the times you'll have larger hoses or what the orifice is on this, so you've got to do a step down ring, yada, yada, yada. I'll show you how this goes, but this thing is genuinely, truly incredible. So I'm excited to show you how this thing looks. Now, one of the last things that I am always really particular about with vacuums is not having something that I roll around the shop. I absolutely hate having a shop vac, one of those huge, big canisters about yay high, this big. You're rolling it around the car. You've got a huge hose on it that's not that long. You're smacking it into doors, rolling it around. The wheels never work because they're made of cheap plastic. I hate that. Having this is so nice. As you guys may be able to see off camera, I've got all my polishers on a rack over there, all kind of tightened up. I've got EV chargers over here. I like having things accessible that I can put them back and boom, it looks clean. That just helps my general OCD nature, I guess you will. So this thing's truly legit. The other thing I should mention about this plugs into a normal 110 outlet. The peak is about 15 amps on this, so just be sure you have a 20 amp breaker, but this actually runs way up here into the lights. It runs the lights and this off a 20 amp breaker. Never had any issues with it. So really, really happy with this. But I think next, let's jump into the EV6 and actually show you the cleaning power because as nice as this looks, it still has to work. Before I say anything, yes, this is a bit embarrassing that the car has gotten to this level of filth, but this is reality with having two golden retrievers. You can see they sit on the back seats back here. This cleans up actually impressively nice, but this will be a great torture test for the vacuum. Again, tons of dog hair. This is golden retriever hair from my two boys, Oliver and Charlie. You can see it just goes absolutely everywhere. Pebbles, rocks everywhere. This thing is truly disgusting at this point. It needs a bath as well. We're going to be doing that in another video coming very, very soon. But again, even areas like this with not the most amazing carpet, I think you'll be blown away with what this actually does. So let's get some cameras mounted up and do a satisfying little montage. without using any sort of pet hair removal tool or anything. That is strictly the vacuum. To be able to go from that to that by just vacuuming is unbelievable. Is it 100% perfect? No. Again, that's not the vacuum's fault. That's a little bit annoying with the dog hair of what it does. It gets ingrained into those loops. So going over it with a dog hair tool or multiple times vacuuming is just so much better. But dang, this is pretty insane, right? I mean, you guys saw the hair down there. It is unbelievable, the suction power that this thing has. And that's really a testament to the motors that they have actually put in the Garage Vac Pro over there. It is just unbelievable what they've done with this thing. And honestly, for 430 bucks, I think it's the best money you could ever spend. So I'm extremely happy with this thing. I think you guys will be too. And I hope this demonstrates what kind of cleaning power this thing truly has. Because I know a lot of you out there who have dogs and you would spend a whole heck of a lot more time with a tool trying to get everything out than this just got that. Well guys, I'm curious to see what you think about the torture tests we did here with the Garage Vac Pro. To me, it is just unbelievably impressive. The suction power that this thing has, I've never seen a vacuum do what this thing can do. Now, something with dog hair, it's not always 100% you're gonna get everything with the vacuum, especially depending on your carpet type. In my EV6, most of the carpet's great, but sometimes the floor mats, you can get, you know, dog hairs intertwined into the weave and matting of the carpet, and it can be really annoying to get out. But with this thing, you're getting 95% of all of the dog hair out, and the last maybe 5, maybe 10%. Yes, you can always go in there with a pet hairbrush and help out with the vacuum. But for picking up little rocks, french fries under seat, crumbs, all the nasty things that are interior seat, this is genuinely the best thing ever. So for me, this is your absolute go-to. I should have said this up front. This is not a sponsored video. I purchased this with my own money and decided to say, hey, I want to share this product with you guys because I believe in it. I've had this hanging on my wall for a year and a half, 2 years now, and honestly, it has not skipped a beat. I've probably changed the filter in here twice or 3 times, not the actual filter, the actual HEPA bag that all of the dirt and grime that you pick up goes into. And yeah, it's just super simple to use. Plug it in, you can mount it on the wall. Should be noted, it does come with the wall mounting bracket here. Again, check out the different attachments it comes with. For me, the actual attachments it comes with are so-so. Again, I would highly recommend you pick up a plastic housing like this instead of using the metal one. But the nice thing with the metal one, and I guess with this, you can also vacuum up your garage floors as it has an extension wand and different accessories that comes with it. But for me, mount these things on the wall. Stop carrying around those rigid vacs around your car, smacking it into doors, not having the right hose length. You don't want to deal with that. It's just really annoying. Get a nice clean look like this. I understand this is not for everybody, spending, you know, $600+ on this particular setup here. But if you want, spend for just the vacuum. You're going to be absolutely thrilled with it. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in another one soon. Bye-bye.